So the topic today is going to be cord cutting. We have done this probably, Jimmy, one of the first presentations, and people were like, "Woohoo, we want this," and so we keep repeating it. Okay. Overview. Here's what we're going to cover. I tend to be kind of linear, but I'm going to ramble a little bit. The topic that we're going to cover is going to be combining streaming and over-the-air. Streaming as opposed to Cox cable TV. Streaming comes over the internet, and that's the only way you're getting it, and your content is going to be delivered to you that way. Over-the-air is literally over-the-air from an antenna. Like, think of it as the old days of rabbit ears. But there are no rabbit ears, it's all digital now. So we're going to define it for you. We're going to cover some of the pros and cons of what you can do with cord cutting, what you can't do with cord cutting. We're going to cover what's called FAST, which is free ad-supported TV. Literally, it's free. It doesn't cost you a dime. It's paid for by watching and enduring and suffering through a commercial, however long it is. It might be a 10-second commercial. It might be a 2-minute commercial. You have no control over that. But that's what pays for the service. Then we're going to cover over-the-air. I've probably installed 50 to 75 antennas in the community, and it grows all the time. And inevitably, everybody wants them in the summertime. And I can't do it in the summertime because I'd pass out. The antennas literally go in your attic, and I just can't do that. So you miss the winter rush. Everybody wants them, and that's the time to do them, is in the winter time. And then we're going to cover a little bit of a sad story, which is next gen, and I'll explain what next gen is. So a little humor. What is on TV? For the people in the cheap seats in the back, everything ever videotaped, filmed, recorded, photographed, or otherwise documented whenever I want to watch it. And the guy says, I miss TV. Literally everything that you want to watch. And it doesn't matter whether it's a news broadcast, a movie, some serial program that's on the network, it's all available to you whenever you want to watch it. Unlike linear programming where it's Tuesday, it's 9 o'clock, and I want to watch NCIS or whatever. You don't do that nowadays. You just do it whenever you feel like it. That's the way it works. So, cord cutting. You're not literally cutting a cord. You're figuratively making yourself accessible to content over the internet. It's as simple as that. The source that you're going to use is the internet. Okay, unlike Cox, which is coming, your source is coming through cable. You're either getting it over the internet through fiber, through a streaming service, or you're getting it through an antenna just connected to a transmitter that's receiving it wirelessly. Typically what started all of this transition is your typical Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and all of those. They really pushed the envelope and sort of made that transition start. As I mentioned, the free ad-supported TV gives people, I think, access to the vast majority of what you typically would be watching on TV. It's just you have to have a commercial service or access to commercials. Some of the advantages, money. It's going to save you typically, I never see a job that I do that's less than $1,000 a year. You're going to save $1,000 easily. There's no contracts, no equipment rentals. You own it, it's yours. Minimal advertising, but you're going to get some advertising no matter what service, unless you pay for ad-free. I don't recommend it. Things like, BrickBox, Acorn TV, they're ad-free. Netflix, you've got both ad-free and ad-supported. So you have the choice of paying for it or not paying for it, all those kind of things. Some of the negatives, I can't even call this a negative, but you need a little bit of internet speed. Nobody has less than 25 megabits. The bottom tier of Cox, Fios, and Glo is 300 megabits. That's the lowest you can get. You can't get cheaper yet. That's it. That's it. So that's really not a negative anymore. It's just you need internet service, period, one way or another. Unless you're going to do just antenna service, and then that's literally without an internet service. You don't need it. For over-the-air, the one and only real limitation is occasionally you're going to get what's considered pixelation. Not like the old days where you had an antenna connected up to your TV and you got snow and you couldn't see and you could barely see the picture. Digital signals, they're either there or they're not there. And so pixelation is just a fraction of a second where you see a little ghost image. It'll disappear and it'll come back. So that, I would consider that a negative. It happens so infrequently when I do consults. It's hard to show them because they just don't occur. It just doesn't work that way. The way this works is, or the way we typically recommend it is to start out with FAST. That's free ad supported. Start out that way. Start streaming with one of the streaming services that we're going to cover as an option. They're paid or unpaid, it doesn't matter. You can go either way, and I'll explain some of the differences. And then finalize with over-the-air if you want to go to absolute maximum cost savings. How much can you save? This is a real calculation. This is on our website. You plug in your real numbers. How much are you currently spending now? How much do you plan to spend for your internet, let's say with Glo Fiber? So you plug in $40. Or the maximum you can possibly plug in would be $65. I think that's the current deal. It's 1.2 gigabit for $65. You don't need that fast. That's enormously fast, but you don't need it. Anyway, you plug in your current Cox cost. You plug in what you anticipate being your internet-only fee. I base this calculation on one TV. Add multiple TVs, it'll still calculate how much cost savings you come up with, and then put in any down the side. And I don't know if I can point to it. There we go. So you put as many of the services as you want to subscribe to on the right-hand side. Don't worry about the names. It'll calculate regardless of whether it's Disney or Hulu or Hallmark or whatever. We put those in as just suggestions. Put anything you want. As soon as you put it in, it's going to tell you exactly on an annual basis how much you're going to save and how many months it will take to pay off any equipment investment that you might have. And typically, in this case, without an antenna, this one shows $1,500 and 0.3 months to pay it off. That's pretty good. With an antenna, same numbers, $2,400 versus 1.3. So the investment in the equipment is a little bit more because you've got to buy an antenna, and you typically will put a digital tuner in. Most people do. And so you've got a little bit of a hardware investment, but it's still a little over a month of payback to receive payback on it. So I already mentioned some of the services that are out there. All of the subscription services are going to give you your base network TV, ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, all that business. It's going to come with a cloud DVR, unlimited TVR typically in most of them. Whether it's Hulu, whether it's YouTube TV, those two are the biggie. Those are the biggest of the bunch. They have unlimited DVR. You can record until you're blue in the face, and they just don't care, especially YouTube TV. The link at the bottom is a live link. So if you click on that, when you go back and you look at this presentation, it'll bring you to a very detailed summary of all the different streaming services that are available and all the channels that could possibly be of interest. And it just says, yes, it's available, no, it's available, or there might be a dollar sign. For the most part, it's either available or not available. And it's kept up to date. So how much does it cost, which service it is, what channels are available, it's pretty extensive. This is brand new. So as of about a little over a month ago, YouTube TV came out with a whole series of kind of mini bundles. They used to be the lowest cost service at around, I think they started out at around $35 a month. Now they're up to $83 a month. It really went up quite a bit. So they just introduced these plans. The $54 one, all of the plans still give you all the network TV. You just choose whether you want sports or non-sports. Do you want, like, even the base package, they give you Hallmark and the Comedy Central and HGTV and so forth. And all your ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, CW, et cetera, ION. The big seven. And that's the way that works. So it does give you a little bit of cost savings. This is an example chart of the major broadcast streaming services and all of what would be the network inclusions. So with an antenna and Sling, you can get all of them. Without an antenna, don't use Sling. Sling, not a good service unless you had an antenna in. So don't consider that, and I'll explain that a little bit later. You can see the range of costs, and DirecTV by far the most expensive, and frankly the lowest number of channels. I don't know what they can't even figure out what their name is. They've changed their name at least 3 or 4 times, trying to fool people, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure why. At any rate, what do you need? We've kind of covered this. I'm not going to belabor it, but you definitely need internet. You need Wi-Fi typically, unless you're going to plug your TV into Ethernet, and I wouldn't suggest doing that. The best experience, I'm going to put it that way, the best experience for getting streaming content is with a streaming stick or a TV that has Roku, Google, or Fire built into it, one of those 3. If it doesn't have that, the experience is going to be buyer beware. They're just, I get people all the time like, oh, I got this great deal at Best Buy, and you come back and they, I can't stand the interface, and the remote control doesn't work, and it doesn't listen to me, and so on. So, Fire, Google, Roku, in that reverse order. So, I think the statistic right now is in the United States, I believe, don't quote me exactly, but I believe there's somewhere around 60%, and in this community, it's more like 90% of the TVs and the people doing streaming, they do it with Roku. The rest of them is a split, almost 10 to 15% split between Google and a few Fire TVs. Most of the people that go with the, Tizen, the web interface, Samsung interface, Vizio interface, most of them will plug in a streaming stick because they get so frustrated with it. So just be aware of that. Kind of focus on those 3 top services. There they are. Don't need much more than that. So we can explain those, and if you have questions about why one is better than the other, they all have the exact same capabilities. They all have voice control, they all have volume control, turn the TV on and off, change the channels. They all use what's considered fuzzy logic, so you don't have to like exactly what I want. I want, just press the button and say Longmire. Don't worry about where it's coming from, just find me Longmire, or Hallmark. Boom, up it comes. That's the way they work, and that's the way you want them to work. You don't want to have to think about where the content is coming from and did it understand what I said. It's going to work. So I'll leave this to your interpretation. There's nothing more to say here that I haven't already said. Cord cutting. So when you get this presentation and you skim through it, the Cord Cutters News is probably the oldest and the best service that provides you with a lot of background and its current content, and it's constantly being updated. The guy that presents is boring as all hell. Sorry, but he is. But his content is very good. So you kind of skim through it and get the highlights and get out. But it's well worth going to Cord Cutters News and checking it out. It keeps track of all the trends and all the activities that are happening. I mentioned fast programming. So free ad-supported TV, these are kind of the summaries. And we did toss in, so some of it you can get from your library. Most of it you can get from just install the app and just listen to it. You know, Tubi TV is probably the biggest of the big, very popular. Pluto TV, another really big service, all ad-supported. Crackle is becoming a little less favored, but still very good on the Google and Fire environment. They removed it from Roku. It just wasn't doing as well. But at any rate, all of these services are available, and they deliver tens of thousands, literally, of movies and TV shows to your TV. This slide is really focused on understanding that with the antenna, you're dealing with geography, whether it's hills and valleys, whether it's curvature of the earth. 70 miles is the absolute maximum, really realistic, that you're going to get from a transmitter. So in our case, Norfolk and Richmond are roughly 50 miles, 45 to 50 miles away. The message is, don't use something like this and expect to get a TV signal. It's not going to work. It's going to be garbage. This is what I install. I have a much better one if you're really in a bad spot, but this one really is exceptionally good. It's just a matter of distance, gain, amplification on what it will receive. Recommendation, this is the NTOP. It comes with both a high gain Class A amplifier, which probably doesn't mean too much to you, but it comes with a very good quality amplifier. Variable gain, so if it works, if it's too strong a signal, you can tune it down. If it's too weak, you can tune it up. That's kind of the way it works. It also has a bandpass filter on it that blocks LTE, which is your cell phone signal, so it doesn't interfere with the cell phone, vice versa. So that's important. The other one that I tend to use is a DB8. That one has two wings of rabbit ears or bow ties. They consider them bow ties. You can aim them in two different directions. They're considered omnidirectional, but you can, in theory, you can aim one set of bow ties toward Norfolk and one set toward Richmond. I tend to push everything toward Norfolk. It's a better signal, but you can do both with one single antenna. They're huge. You'll see a picture of it in a minute. These two tools, whether you're Apple or Android on your phone, it'll tell you what channels you can get. When I do installations, I'll scope out what channels. I'll typically get about 50 to 70 channels, but they're repetitive. You know, you're going to get two CBSs because it's Norfolk and Richmond. You're going to get two ABCs. You're going to get two NBCs, two of everything, plus what's considered side channels. Lots and lots of side channels. You'll get 24 hours a day of Westerns. That's what they do. but they consider that a separate channel, and they just pump it out, and that's what it does. So I used to have to say, maybe almost going on almost 2 years now, I used to have to say, buyer beware. If you watch ABC, forget it. The antenna is just not going to work for you. That's not the case anymore. ABC finally put a good, decent, robust transmitter in, and now they went up to a megawatt. So that's why I highlighted it there. They were absolutely useless up until almost 2 years ago. So now they're all respectable signal strength, fairly stable. As long as the gods of weather are in your favor, you're going to get a good signal, and that's the way it works. Weather is a factor with an antenna. It always is. It always will be. If it's snowing, you're going to see pixelation. If it's raining really heavy, you're going to see pixelation. That's typically the way it works. It's just the reality of it. But for free, some people say, I'll deal with it. Okay. How do you increase the signal of the system? Bigger antenna again. Don't use this. Use this. That's 25 bucks. That's 120 bucks. That's the difference. I mean, you just cannot. You can't make up the difference. It just doesn't work that way. Best TV antennas. Again, I'm repeating myself here. Clearstream DB8. You'll see a picture of it in a second. And then the Antop, which is this bad boy. So again, I don't know if I can point to it, but this is the DB8. It's a monster. If you put it in, or if I end up putting it in, almost guaranteed you're going to get a good signal. This one, 90% of the time, it's perfect. That's kind of the difference. They're the same price. It's just comes out to labor. The rest of it is just labor. It's more work to put the bigger antenna together. There's a lot of pieces. But anyway, they both work. It's really critical, if you're going to do this yourself, precision aiming. They're omnidirectional, but they're still 10 degrees left or right, up center from the transmitter. Anything beyond that, you're going to get ghosts, you're going to get bad signal. It has to really be aimed very precisely. So whichever one of these two you prefer, whether it's the AntennaWeb or I use DTV, that's my go-to app. It literally, if I put it up on the screen, it literally, to the degree, it will tell you exactly where the transmitter is located, and all I have to do is say, there, perfect. And it's literally, it is perfect. And it never moves. So it used to, when they started putting in, what the topic I'm going to cover next is next-gen TV. That's high definition TV. When they started putting those transmitters and towers in, they physically moved the towers both vertically and horizontally. They moved them. And so where I had antennas aimed like this, all of a sudden they had to be like this. And so they had to be relocated, re-aimed. That's what happened with the next-gen service. But now that's not happening. So they're pretty stable now. Once I put them in, they're in pretty good shape. But next-gen did require that I had to re-aim some antennas. Okay, how do you connect up your TVs? Believe it or not, there's 3 different ways. There's the incredibly foolish way to do it, which is to hook up an antenna straight into your TV with coax cable. That's the good old-fashioned way. Great for one TV, maybe 2 or 3 TVs. If you want to go through a smart panel or a junction panel, you can do it. Don't recommend it. Every TV has to be tuned. Depending on the quality of the tuner in the TV, buyer beware. You're going to get a really good signal maybe on one, and in the next one, because of the cable run or because of the quality of the tuner in the TV, you might not get a signal at all, and it's worthless to you. So that's option number 1. Option 2 is typically run it through a junction panel or signal splitter, and run it to as many TVs as you have in the house. Again, I don't recommend it. The disadvantage is the same as the first option, which is every TV is going to be subject to difference in the quality of the tuner in the TV, and the cable run from the antenna to the TV. So that's bad option. Option 3, the best option, the only one that I personally use, which is to put in a digital tuner. So whether it's a tablet, well, there's a lot of them, but the only two I install are Tablo or AirTV. They are digital, they are wireless. Once you install them in your house, you can hide them in a closet, you can put them anywhere you want in the house. They don't have to be seen. They will wirelessly connect to every TV in the house. They're exceptional. They both, whether it's Tablo or whether it's AirTV, which is Sling, if you want to think of it in terms of what you're seeing on the screen when we get to that, they're either AirTV or Sling or Tablo. If you're talking about next gen, there's a whole series of other options, but we're not there yet. All of these have what's called FAST, which is the free ad-supported TV. So they all have anywhere from 200 to just shy of 600 free channels. And in the case of this guy, they added subscription service, so you can get your ESPNs and your all the subscription content that you would normally get with a streaming service. You can get with that system available to it. The advantage of the Sling/AirTV is it's fast, which means it's always free. Subscription, which means you can turn it on and off on a monthly basis, and the subscription is $45. And always free network TV. So that's a good deal. In the case of Tablo, they have roughly 200 fast programs all the time. It's free forever. They also have the over-the-air, the network TV, that's, again, always free. They do not have subscription content. You can't get ESPN. So the cheapest way to get, you know, if you're an ESPN or, I can't even think of them, they're not coming to mind, the Golf Channel. So if you want the Golf Channel, real popular, you're going to combine Sling, which is $45, with AirTV or Tablo, which is free. So your monthly cost is $45. When you turn off the subscription portion of it, your cost is $0. That's why people love over-the-air, because it gives you that flexibility. We do not, I marked it as Tech Club recommendation. The AirTV and the Tablo are recommendations right now. There are some others on the market that you can consider. I've done enough testing that we don't want to recommend them. I don't want to have to support them. The reliability is questionable. Of the bunch, of the two of them, without question, the Tablo is the most reliable, dependable, trouble-free. The tech support, if it doesn't come from me, the tech support is exceptional from Tablo. On the other hand, AirTV, which is Sling, again, don't mix the two together, even though they are technically together. The AirTV is a separate company that Dish TV purchased. So they purchased Sling and AirTV, and they market it together. AirTV is the problem child. Sling is really good. So you have to separate the two. That AirTV device is problematic at best. When it fails, tech support is very poor. I can't fix them most of the time, and they don't want to fix them. So that, again, buyer beware on the AirTV portion of it. But taking a Tablo system for $100 and adding Sling, which is free, or $45 if you want all the bonus content, that's a good deal. So, did I totally confuse you? Probably. I'm sure. Okay. Lots of questions are going to come up at the end, and that's fine. Why use Wi-Fi based TV, as in the internet based TV? All of your channels are going to come over the air. You're not subject to any restrictions as far as the content. You're going to be able to view it anywhere in the house, on any TV, your phone. I'll show you a little quick demonstration. So we'll jump to the demo in a second, but you can watch on your phone, you can watch on your tablet, your laptop, obviously any of your TVs simultaneously. You can have multiple channels running in the home, outside the home. I have examples of watching TV, I mean air TV, as in over-the-air content from Switzerland, from my antenna in Williamsburg. It's incredible, and it works beautifully. So you can be in the middle of the ocean on a ship watching TV from your house. It's amazing, and it's free. So that's how it works. One of the reasons I like the digital tuners is tune it once, every TV in the house gets the exact same perfect signal. You don't go from TV to TV to TV worrying about whether one is a good tuner and one is not a good tuner, or whether one has got good reception and another. They're all exactly the same quality, which really makes them, I think, makes it worth its weight in gold as far as the approach of using a digital tuner that way. Diagrammatically, that's the way they're set up. You've got your Tablo or Air TV connected to an antenna. That's the only physical connection. All this gobbledygook that you see up there, the only physical connection is the antenna to the Tablo. Everything else is wireless. So makes it super simple. I'm going to skip over this. It's the same thing I've already discussed before, except the pricing. So the pricing hasn't changed, and it probably will never change, because I haven't had to update this particular section in quite a while. It's $100 for 2 tuners. It's $140 for 4 tuners. Get the 4 tuner unit. It's well worth it. It also includes a DVR, so you can record your content and watch it anytime you want. It's a beautiful DVR system. The Air TV works the same way. It's $100. It's a little more expensive for the 4 tuner. It's $169, but with that particular unit, it comes with a 1 terabyte DVR, which is good for about 150 hours of recording, which is a lot of recording time. And as I said, it's pretty simple. So on this screen, what you're going to see is this is Sling. If you don't subscribe to anything with Sling, you're going to get a sort of a welcome screen when you first log in, or when, I shouldn't say log in, when you first open Sling. It's going to say, resubscribe. You don't need to. Change your subscription. You don't need to. And down at the bottom, skip and watch for free. That's the one you want. Click on that, and everything you want to watch is there. It's just a wonderful system. And I'll demonstrate that. I'll show you how it works. The future. This is really sad. So Jimmy and I have been presenting this topic for 4 years? About 4 years now, in various iterations of it. But Next Gen TV, which is ATSC 3.0, which is high def, 4K, super wonderful TV. Everybody's been looking forward to it. Everybody's been anxious for it. We've been waiting, approaching 5 years now. Nothing's happening. It's not that the technology's not ready. It's not that it's ready to deploy right this minute. It's been ready to deploy really for the last 4 years, ballpark. The broadcasters, the network organizations, I'll just say, are the ones putting the kibosh on this whole technology. They have so far forced government. They've lobbied our congressman. They have done everything in their power to implement what's called DRM, Digital Rights Management. They're afraid that people, you and I, are going to steal their content and sell it or resell it. We're not. It's foolish, but that's what slowed this entire process down. So the message I used to be able to say, it's coming soon. Now I'm telling people, forget about it, just buy one of these units, invest in it, and move forward. I have 2 next-gen tuners. To me, they're an absolute waste of money because I can't see the difference between a 4K signal and a standard 1080p signal. What you're going to see in a minute is going to be a 1080p signal. It's incredibly crisp because unlike cable TV that's compressed, over the air is uncompressed video. It's pure, unadulterated perfection. It's reasonably perfect anyway. Very crisp, very bright. Most people, when I do a consult or a demonstration, they ask me, what in the world is on your TV? Because it's so vivid. It's just the compressed video from the antenna. That's all it is. So next gen, yes, is going to be, if it ever comes, is going to be a fabulous system, but I would not anticipate it coming. Not based on everything I'm seeing from legislation. They're just pushing it to the side, and they're going to put every roadblock in. The bottom message, so DRM is not just threatening, they're trying to crush it. Even though they say they're trying to help us and they want to implement it, because technically it is a better system. It's much, much cheaper to transmit a broadcast signal over next gen than it is the current technology. So think of it in terms of how much you can squeeze in a pipe. You just can't do it with the current technology, where this next gen is, because it's internet-based, internet protocol-based, much more efficient. But is it going to come? My bet is it's not going to come. There's a guy named Lon Salzman, I believe is his name. He has been meeting with Congress. He has pushed every button he can push. The link at the bottom, if you click on it, it will bring you to his website. You'll see all the legislation. You'll see all the pros and cons of what's happening with NextGen and DRM. And it will give you all of your Congress people and a template of what you can say to them to try to encourage them to be a little more reasonable. Not holding my breath. The rest of the slides are going to be just for you to reference. So it's cord cutting calculator, it's a couple of references. Use them or not use them. They're for you, and that's it. What I want to do real quickly is I'm going to jump over, and then we'll do the Q&A. I'm going to just jump over if this will switch. Okay. I'm going to show you what Sling looks like, if I can get it to work. So this is a standard TV. This is a Google TV, nothing special. I'm going into Sling. This is Sling at my house on Winthrop Circle. That's what you're going to see, hopefully. And we're going in for free. So I don't pay anything for my TV. I'm one of those guys that it's free. So everything you see where it just welcomed me. I go down here and I say skip and watch for free. So I'm in the free service. I go to the channel guide. It's going to come up with my preferences in this building. The gods of Wi-Fi, you have to see. I didn't pay it.
Time you get on it, because you're going to go to bed.
There we go. Okay. So there's not much on. Daytime TV is pretty horrible, but oh, sorry. Somebody yell out General Hospital. So you get a little bit of a. All right, I'm gonna. sorry, I'm going to buffer it, or I'm going to mute it. Daytime TV is not the same quality. If I could find a sports pro like golf or something with a lot more depth to it, you would see the difference in the visual quality of the content. This is crap. I mean, you're not going to see much that's going to be impressive because it's daytime soaps. There's not much. Oh, yeah, somebody said General Hospital. There we go. So this is an example. Well, it may be an example of commercial. So the other thing about commercials, they're not compressed. They are downscaled, so they're not 1080p. They kind of poke around with them a little bit. When you go to a nighttime, what they consider primetime TV content, then you're going to see 1080p, what's considered high def TV content, and it's quite impressive. Football game, golf, tennis, whatever. I mean, it's pretty amazing to watch it. At any rate, if I held my finger on the scroll button, well, I'm not going to waste your time, but if I held, it would scroll through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of free channels. It's just nonstop. It's unbelievable. But I can record it. I can watch it whenever I want. I can skip the commercials. It's just a great system. If I want to go and add what's considered cable news, that's CNN, they call it now MS Now, and Fox News, those three that you normally have to pay for, you just add it here and it's $45. That's it. Instead of paying another $45 to get it from YouTube TV, because that's the cheapest way to get it, you can do it from here. All your primetime movie content, you can get that same thing. They have what's called Sling Blue, which is entertainment, and they have Sling Orange, which is sports. You can do Sling Orange and Blue and pay half the price of the two of them together and get sports and entertainment. So that's kind of how they work it. It has a curated algorithmic content. So as you start watching shows, it keeps track of what you like. So the recommendation list is based on stuff that in theory I watch. Hit movies, local channels, it's just on and on. Your sports packages, etc. Movies. And you just click on it and watch it, and it's all free. It's a simple interface. Now, I'm going to tell you, and then we'll take Q&A. I can't show you Tableau because Tableau, unlike Sling, that works literally anywhere, Tableau does not work outside the home. So it works beautifully in the home, but I can't show you what it looks like here. It won't connect, and I don't know if it's a technical reason or if it's a protective reason that they want to avoid some of the DRM stuff that's going on. Being able to record it and take it anywhere you want. You have to watch it in the house, but watching it in the house is extremely good. Anyway, you'll notice. I'll just point this out. So it's picture-in-picture, so you can go bouncing around looking for content that you might be interested in while still watching the TV. You also, if you, see if I can get back. So if I go over here, come on, go back to the home. Notice in here, and then I'll answer questions, but wait till it goes back. Make me a liar if it doesn't go back. Come on. It's the Clubhouse gremlins. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Go. There we go. So when you're in the show, if you press the up arrow, it goes to kind of a couch potato mode. You can bounce from one channel to the next. You go to the channel guide. You can go to an arcade because it has games, and you go to just sports scores. So you can bounce around very quickly to what you want. So When I do installs, I always install Sling on the person's TV because it's free. So it gets them used to this. If they want to add the antenna, great. If not, they still have this for free. So it works really well. Okay, I'm going to get enough of the General Hospital or whatever that was. All right, questions? Yes.
You mentioned that you could have like the arts and sports.
Yes.
And you said it was free.
Yes.
What
Well,
about
over the air is always free.
what
Yeah.
about ESPN?
So you would subscribe to ESPN with, for example, Sling Orange would contain all of your ESPNs. That's well, it's actually $46, but $45, $46.
And I have one other question.
Sure.
Some people have said if you get one of the streaming of these services,
Yeah.
you have to learn a whole new control.
Yep.
Yes.
That's it. One control. Up, down, left, right. Voice control. I don't know if it'll even work here, but what's the weather this weekend? Whatever. It's kind of silly, but yeah, no, it's just voice control for anything you want, or turn on the kitchen lights or whatever. It does everything. If I said Longmire, that's the one I used as the example before. So it doesn't care where it's coming from. It's just find me Longmire, and there it is. If I said ABC on Sling, it's a great show. Anything you ask for is going to come up. Volume, mute, quick buttons for YouTube TV. If I said play Fireplaces with smooth jazz on YouTube, that's how specific or general I can be. It's going to go out and find it. It's talking to me right now, and it'll just do that. That's what it does. There we go. Don't use this Clubhouse response as the way it would be in your house. Much better in your house. This is pretty awful. So you're going to get a 4-second commercial, and then you just skip it. And I'm assuming it's going to come up there. Here's your fireplace with, if I want to play this smooth jazz. So that's what it does. And I can do the same. Everything is one remote on every TV in the house. Nothing to learn.
Can you have more than one remote? I mean,
Yeah, every remote. Yeah, every TV will have a remote. Yeah, they're all identical. I just put a little rubber thing on it because if I drop it, it bounces. But yeah, that's it. We can keep that on while we talk. Yes.
Carol, you built this up at 2020, streaming.
Yes.
And the router that we have plugs into the cable.
Yes.
Okay. So when you talk about wireless, that's an advance. Is that the current 2020?
So I'd have to look what I did. So normally I put mesh in the homes for the most part. If you're with Fios or if you go to Glow, you're not going to need anything except mesh. If you've got a smaller home, one floor, you can go with their free gateway. It's included. Yeah, if you don't have mesh, then you'll use their gateway and they supply it. If you have multiple, either a lower level or an upper level, or a very big house, I usually recommend at least 2 nodes, multiple floors, 3 nodes. And they're very inexpensive now. They're $200 for 3 nodes, Wi-Fi 7. So I would definitely, that's just an option. But yeah. Yes.
So when you get Glow Fiber in the home, right?
Yeah.
You have now, you're going to be using that for your internet service.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. So you'll be able to use Wi-Fi calling on your phone.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question 2: Glow Fiber is installing now in our development.
Mm-hmm.
Are they say they get section 2.1 is all set up? Are they going to offer those people?
No, yeah, they are because of licensing. So they said they're going to, the community is going to be done in 4 phases. First phase is what they consider the underserved which is the center. You see all the focus has been around Massey Circle right now. They'll complete that section, phase 1, and they'll move to the back of the community, the newest, you know, what is it, yeah, out in the back. And then the last section, phase 4, is going to be the front where FiOS is right now, because they at least have fiber. Most people either don't know it or they haven't hooked up to it. I don't know why, but yeah. So they're saying right now, and I don't think it's going to change, that they're going to wait until they're completely finished and then hook everything up. That may change. So every Friday, keep your eyes out for every Friday, the HOA is going to send out a blurb about FiOS, about Glo Fiber. Just pay attention to it. We'll put a little bit more of the push to market it. They'll put a little bit more about status. They can't really market it. It's not fair to Cox or FiOS to market Glo Fiber, so I understand that. But it's a good service. We're going to promote it. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, as far
Sorry.
as Logan, they're over on Chapel Crossing. We're on Old Lot, but we're in the cul-de-sac. Now, they haven't marked anything down in the cul-de-sac, and somebody said that we don't have to mark our lawn. Is that true or not true?
Not true.
Okay.
Yeah, anything that's part of the easement, you've got to mark to protect your irrigation system.
Okay.
Because most people's irrigation is part of, it's in the easement. So yeah, yeah.
And then my other question is, you did our install 2 years?
Sure.
2 years. So originally we went with Sling,
Mhm.
which is blue, but I heard you say in the beginning, don't go with Sling, just get the free Sling?
Well, no. So free sling, if you don't care about ESPN or you don't want to pay for, you know, Fox or CNN or MS Now, or you need the Golf Channel, you want to pay for that. But otherwise, it's free.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of the more confusing. It's a really nice service. You start out with free, see what you can get, because most of the time, what you can get on ESPN, for the most part, I don't watch much sports, but for the most part, you can get it over the air for free. Some things are exclusive to ESPN, and you're going to subscribe to it. But I didn't even cover this, and I don't want to emphasize it, but Sling won the lawsuits against them from the networks. They have it's amazing. I don't even know what they call the packages, but I know what they call. They have day passes, they have weekend passes, and they have weekday passes. So you don't even need to buy, if it's Super Bowl, you can do a weekend pass. You pay, I think it's $8 for a weekend. If you want a day pass and all you care about is one game, it's $1.99. It's amazing. Yeah, it's just unheard. I don't know how, again, everybody was up in arms when they did it from the networks. They said, you can't do this, and they won, and they're doing it. So they've been doing it for quite a few months now. Yes. Sorry.
Are you demonstrating with a Sling controller or a Roku controller?
This one, no, this is Google TV. This is Google TV. So it's exactly the same capability-wise as the Roku controller. They're identical. Capability-wise, they are the same.
I have a Roku system.
Yeah, I just picked this one.
Is it compatible with the Sling?
Oh yeah, everything I'm covering here, Roku is same.
Why do you only cover and add Sling?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Remember that Sling is put onto the stick format. So if you have a Roku stick, you'll be putting the Sling app on the Roku
Yeah.
stick. And then your clicker works the way you expect.
Yeah. So what you're seeing here these are just the apps that are on, in this case, Google TV. Price is the same, so it's like $45 for this. It's roughly $35 to $40 for the Roku. capability-wise, they are identical. I will say, I shouldn't say, but I will say, Google TV as a device markets their product, and it's around $75 right now. ONN, who is owned by Walmart, markets their Google TV, and it's $50, and it's better than what Google put out. Much better. I shouldn't say this because I'm being recorded, but it's better. The difference is it has more RAM, it has a better CPU, it has more hard drive space than the Google product itself. And it has exactly the same capabilities with one addition. It comes built in with Gemini, which if you're into AI, Gemini is kind of third best, second best, if you want to think of it in those terms. It's exceptionally good. It's very intuitive. It's very logical. It's very capable. So if you can find it, and the reason I don't want to push it too much is it's really hard to find right now. You put it on, you have to pick it up. You can't get it shipped to you. It's kind of a pain, but I can't do it as a business because I can't rely on getting it. But if you can get your hands on one, do it. It's really good. And frankly, this whole presentation, everything I'm doing is done with Google. I can't do the same capability with the Roku, so I typically, for presentation, I'll do a Roku TV and a Google stick. They're wonderful together, and for $45, cheap. Yes.
Question. Today we have Cox cable.
Yes.
With the box and something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically covers the whole house for internet.
Yes.
And I do have a Google TV and I have Roku over it. So the Google TV with the Google controller that looks just like yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
It will give me those channels.
Sure.
And then if I go Sling, today, ignoring the Cox multi-million-dollar price I paid for it, let's ignore that and go to the Sling for teachers, just for me.
Sure.
Would I be able to access this
Yes.
sequence that you showed us earlier? Which means I can kind of test this thing out.
Absolutely. Everyone.
It's so important to kind of get the process.
Yeah. Everyone should.
Antennas and all kinds of gadgets.
Yeah.
You can go down to Cox office and give them their crap and say, fine, thank you very much.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It used to be most of my work was getting rid of that crap. It's okay. But yes, you do not and should not, frankly, use the Cox equipment because you're paying $15 a month for something, and that means every year you're buying a brand new gateway. That's what you're doing. Every single year you're paying for a brand new gateway for their benefit.
You could just in parallel run Greece. And one more question I'll let you guys go.
Okay.
Because we have Netflix and Prime and all that.
Yep.
Accessing those, can you do this on
Everything. Absolutely. Everything.
Subscriptions to it, just have to sign in and go, right?
Yeah. There's Netflix, there's Sling, Amazon Prime, YouTube, everything. Absolutely everything. Yeah.
Just one caveat. When you have Cox
Yeah.
and you don't have a choice of another internet service provider, you don't have this. But you still need to have internet in your house.
Of course, yeah, I'm just saying the TV part.
But to add to what Jim said, and I'm not one of those in that camp, but if you hate Cox so much because of their pricing and marketing, which is really, I don't know how they get away with it, but it's bad. The options are, the best option is T-Mobile. It's $40 a month. And that's high speed. That's as fast as you're going to get right now with the lowest tier Cox service. So they're equivalent. The other option is Verizon. It's not quite as good in this area. So I would, if you really hate Cox, and I'm not saying that you do.
That would keep the internet.
Yeah. So go internet only, pay their. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know how they get away. It's terrible. Yes.
We've had Verizon internet since moved here,
Sure.
10, 11, 12 years.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And it doesn't, never been a problem.
Yeah.
It's the old.
So, so for those who didn't hear in the back, the question or the comment was about access to files for all this time and for years. And do I need to change? I think was kind of what you were saying.
Well, yeah, I don't have files, so it's the old Verizon.
Old Verizon?
Yeah.
I'm
Oh. Okay. You should use T-Mobile.
Okay.
Or Cox.
But
But
it's never been a problem.
it will be if you stream. It's going to be really slow. So I thought the question was going to be, if I have Fios, should I change to Glo Fiber? Or if I have Cox and I'm happy with it, should I add Glo Fiber? My answer, my recommendation is do it immediately. Do it as fast as they make it available. The advantage, anybody a real estate person in this room? Okay. The advantage is marketing and options. Like the article that I just popped up as people were walking in, and I've sent it around to Facebook and Nextdoor, and it's going to be in the Chronicle next month. The advantage is options. Being able to say to Cox, you know what, if you're going to charge me $70, I'm going over here for $40. What can you do for me? Most of the time they're going to say, forget it, but they may feel a little competition. And so in my home, I'm going to have Cox. I had it for 10 years. I've never once used it, but I have it. I have Fios. I've used it for 10 years. I've never had to threaten Fios. They've never, ever raised their price in 10 years. And Glo Fiber gives you, at least at this stage, this early stage, they said the guarantee for 5 years that they won't raise the rates. So that's a pretty good assurance. Yes.
I think because I'm so confused and all.
Okay.
So I have a Cox, you know, I want to get rid of the boxes for the TV,
Yes.
but with the Glo Fiber,
Mhm.
is that internet?
No box. It's all internet with the option of adding TV, subscription streaming TV. They offer it for around $50. So you can get linear and on-demand TV content from them without a streaming service. So that it's their own remote control. It's sort of like Cox, but it's not Cox cable. It's internet-based. Yes, totally. Totally.
And that would be for my computer.
Everything. Yeah. So most people will go with internet only. If you go with Glo, I've never used anything other than streaming forever. But if I had access to cable TV, as in Glo's service, or even Verizon's, which we don't have access to, I probably wouldn't switch to it. But it's an option. It's just, I look at it as, why pay $50 for something that I can get elsewhere?
And I have another question. Our house is considered a smart home.
Sure.
Does that make any difference?
Not at all. I do smart homes. Basically, it's just internet only. If you're using mesh, I set up IoT channels that are 2.4 gigahertz locked. That's all you need. You don't need to do anything on your end. It's just everything's going to work. Yeah. Yeah.
You say you're using the elevator here. Use that here and if I were in Colorado, I could watch the same stuff.
Same thing.
I have to have that there.
My sister is in Rhode Island. My other sister is in New Jersey. My daughter is in Pennsylvania. They all watch from this antenna for free. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah.
They all watch from that from your house.
From my antenna in my house. Yeah. Yeah, it's perfect. Yes.
I was in Pittsburgh this last week, and my sister and my father have installed something called BC Box. It's not over the air, it's over the top. Have you heard anything about that? It looks very similar to this, where they scroll to get their local channels, they get Philly, you pay one price for the box. And I think this is $300 or $400, but there's no monthly subscription fee.
VC Box?
SEEBOX.
VC Box.
And I looked at it for here, I asked the AI about it here, and it said it might not work with student districts because of the antennas being.
Oh, okay. Be careful with that one. So, okay, they call it VC, it's just a marketing name for, it's Android TV. It's the same thing as Google TV. It's Android TV. That's it. So they're about $35. I would stick with something that's more mainstream, but yeah. Sorry. One more, and then next. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, couple things, your box there, that's connected up to the internet?
Say again?
Drop TV box? Yeah, is that connected to the internet?
Which one are you pointing to? I'm sorry.
Sit back behind the bill.
This guy. Oh, this is just demo.
Right, is that connected to the internet?
No, over the air.
How do people run out and get back?
So here's how it works. All you have to do, all they do, is install Sling on their TV. Or, well, yeah, that's what they're doing, is installing Sling on their TV interface. They log into my account so that they see my channels. If they didn't log into my account, they wouldn't see my channels. If they just went into Sling with their own account, they would only see their channels. That's the only trick in the system, is they log in and I give them a generic password and they're in. That's it. Sling. That's right. That's right.
How does that interface with Sling? There's no internet connection, just trying to figure out how to.
Well, so they have internet in their home.
I'm talking about your home. Word portion. He has internet as well, so that's connected.
I have internet.
Right, so that's connected to the internet, which is connected to the Sling.
Well, no, so the box, just like in here, this TV, I unplug it. So this TV has a dongle. I might as well do it, but that's it. I mean, it's just plugged into the TV, HDMI. It's picking up the signal from the network, and that's it. And that's the same thing that my family would be doing, is they have, whether it's Roku, whether it's Google or Fire, it doesn't really matter. They have a Sling account, they log into it, and they watch TV from my house. That's it.
He's got one of these antennas back at his house, right? It's connected to the internet.
No.
I mean,
So
it's
the antenna, the antenna is connected up through coax to this Air TV. So that's it. That's it. There we go. Okay. Yes. And then,
Earlier you mentioned, O and N at
Yes.
Walmart.
Yep.
Is it better and cheaper control? So what is O?
it's not better and cheaper control. It's a better device.
Okay. I would like to know what O and N means.
No idea. I don't know. I don't know what the name is. It's just the name they came up with. They make TVs. They make earbuds. They make a lot of equipment.
So those letters don't stand for something.
It may. I don't know. I really don't know. I just know they purchased the company and they market it as ONN, and I have no idea. Yes.
Both lines are, if I read the current promo correctly, the 5-year price lock is for the 1.2 gig and above.
Yeah, if you go with the 300, it's $50 of, it's still a price lock.
I think it's 12 months.
It's 12 months and they give you a $50 gift card. Yeah. Scaled it down because it's fraction of the speed. Yeah.
So the hedge is what will happen with prices over that 5-year period.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah. No way to know.
If I think about $25.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a,
I've been getting a lot of ads from them already.
Yeah.
sure.
I'm in section 1, so I got mine, and I did go ahead and sign up.
Mm-hmm.
You have the choice, I don't have the choice, or buy a, is there an advantage to one or the other?
I have to be careful about advantages, but my experience over the 10 years has been, FiOS has been extremely good. If I had a technical problem, which I never have had, they're impossible to reach. As opposed to Glow Fiber, has no track record here, so I can't really measure that part of it. But in terms of their availability, they're incredibly responsive. So I'll just say that. I can't tell you whether I'm going to go with them, and I've been with FiOS for 10 years. I'm going to go with Glow Fiber. They have a local store down in Newtown, so you can physically go there. You can't go to a FiOS dealer and say, I need help. There is none. So that's another thing to consider.
For those who are on next door, Fort Colony got Glow Fiber about, I think, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
People keep asking the question, so it shows up a lot of times. But in general, the response of the people in Fort Colony is that they're generally been very happy with the Glow Fiber.
Yeah.
Pricing's been good. I've not heard anybody have any reliability issues on it. So if you want to look at a nearby community that's got it based on at least next door, it's very positive.
Good. Yes.
I called Glow Fiber, and I will agree, they could not have been nice.
Yeah, they're very nice people.
They talked, the woman talked to me for 20 minutes or more. They're great. And she said if I went with the 300, it would be $50 a month, but the promotional is $40 a month for the first year.
Right. Exactly.
My question is, they said they would install free. I go online now and I can enroll now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll be all set up. And they said the installation's free.
Yes.
Can we use the router we have? If not, she said you rent one for $12 a month.
No, don't rent. Don't ever rent equipment. Don't do that. It's a waste of money.
Well, we bought our own router. We don't have a cost router.
Well, if you bought your own and it's a router, then you can plug it directly into the Ethernet port that they're going to provide. But it depends on how good your router is. Honestly, I can't. If you send me the number, the model number, I can tell you whether it's any good. It doesn't matter. NEC, if it's a wireless N router, throw it away. If it's a wireless AC or AX, maybe. Pretty good. It should be at least Wi-Fi 6, preferably at least Wi-Fi 6E or 7. If it's an old router, like more than 3 or 4 years old, it's probably wireless N, which is really slow. So if you, put it this way, if you paid for the 1.2 gigabit service and you used an old wireless N router, you'd be peaking out at about 150 megabytes. So don't do that. Yeah, okay. More questions? Sure.
So what you're saying here is if you, I heard that time, if I went with Glow Fiber, the antenna in the ag gives me access to more content without paying anything.
Yeah, regardless of who you go with, the antenna is always going to give you free content. Yeah. It's just free no matter what. Okay? Yeah. Any other questions? It's almost raffle time.
I have 3 TVs at home, all with Roku streaming sticks.
Sure.
And if I go to a
To go to Sling, and you have an antenna?
No,
Okay, so you'd need to add an antenna if you want network TV. Sling does not include network TV.
no, but there's an option for the same Sling Plus or something.
There's Sling Blue and Sling Orange. Still doesn't include network TV. No ABC, NBC, CBS. That's why it's only $45. You need to add a digital tuner with Sling or Tablo. Either way, that's the same price. But you have to have a digital tuner to integrate it in the way I showed you on the interface.
Then I eliminate YouTube TV.
Yeah, it's the $45 savings that you would get from using Sling or Tablo is the difference between free over the air versus rebroadcasting it through YouTube TV. So they pay the charges that the broadcast networks charge them. They pass that along to you, and it's roughly about $45 now, and it keeps climbing. That's why these prices are going up. It's not that it's everybody trying to get their little piece of the pie. Yeah.
So what is the price of that unit?
The two-tuner unit, either one. The two-tuner unit is $99.
A month?
No, one time.
It's a one-time cost?
One-time fee. The four-tuner unit, which lets you watch on 4 TVs or record any combination of 1, 2, 3, or 4 shows simultaneously, that four-tuner unit is $139 for the Tablo four-tuner and $169 for the Air TV. The reason the Air TV is more is because it includes a 1 terabyte drive built into it. This one includes 128 gig, which is enough for 50 hours, which most people say is enough for me. If you want more, you can put up to 8 gig on this, but you have to add it separately. You just plug it in.
So I have Fox,
Mm-hmm.
internet, and so on.
Sure.
I even have my phone likes the landline, my wife likes the landline.
Get rid of it.
And I have DirecTV.
Ooh, ouch.
And I pay a nominal rate.
Oh, don't do it.
Both of those.
Don't do it. No, no
Well,
offense.
the only reason I have DirecTV is because I like the sports channel.
ESPN.
MLB, NFL.
You can get MLB. I can get it right now. You don't need DirecTV to get MLB.
So I can
Get rid of them.
dump those, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
go with one of these.
Yep.
Plus the antenna.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry.
We have a smaller TV in the master bedroom. It's not a smart TV. So
Doesn't matter. As long as it has an HDMI port on it, it's as smart as you need it to be.
we don't need to get a new TV for.
Yeah, they're cheap. They're really cheap now. If it's a small TV, you can buy a Roku. 4K Roku is like $125. It's just not worth playing around with something that's probably 720p, like really pixelated. But yeah, you can absolutely do it. Yes.
You get the antenna set up that you have.
Yeah.
Is it a separate remote for your home?
Same remote.
Same remote.
One remote.
Plugs in and go.
Yep. Real easy. Yeah, there's no fiddling around with the remotes. One. Yes.
If I switch to Glow, what else do I need? Do I need a router? Nothing. I need nothing else.
Nothing at all. They're going to come in, they're going to leave in about an hour, and you're going to be up and running. That's it. It's simple.
Okay, because I have the antenna and the.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
All my customers are fine. I'm kidding. Any more questions? Going once? Oh, go ahead.
You have that, the Glow, over there.
The flyer.
You can,
Yeah.
go to their website,
Mm-hmm.
but is there another place, because everybody's gonna wanna leave?
Just take your phone and point at the QR code.
You're gonna be standing in front of the door.
Oh, I already mailed it out. Everybody's gonna get a copy. Yeah.
So it's not just,
It's just, you know, if somebody's anxious to get signed up, you can just go to the, you actually put it on the door. Very good.
I have it right here.
Very good. So as you walk out, you just snap your phone and, or, you know, you'll have it. So, whatever. But yeah, we'll be sending it out with the tech notes, which will come out by Friday. We're done? Oh, no, months. They said each phase is going to be completed in 45 days. So the last phase is 45 times 4. Yeah, yeah. The front of the community, Arthur Hill, they get it last. Yeah. Yes.
We don't need Glow Fiber right now to get this set up,
Ooh,
right?
no.
We can do this.
You can do it with Cox, you can do it with
Anybody.
Verizon or whatever.
T-Mobile, Verizon, anybody.
I don't want Cox anymore.
Yeah, well, you need Cox for your internet if that's all you have, unless you have Fios. So you have to,
No.
or T-Mobile. You have to have something for your internet service. Okay?
I'll talk to your house.
Yeah, yeah. Just write us and we'll be good. How's it up? Okay.